We watch a lot of high school football recruits on this channel, and in a lot of those videos, I always try to stay positive. I try to focus on 2 or 3 things that a kid does really well, and then kind of say, okay, they have to improve on this or that to see the field at the next level. And that's really what recruiting is. These high school teams, they're not recruiting finished products in high school. They're betting on 1 or 2 traits that they see on the high school film, and then they try to develop them until they actually see the field and make impacts on college football games. But every now and then, you'll watch a high school recruit that everything just happens so easily, and you can just kind of tell this dude's going to make an impact the second that he steps onto a college football campus or onto a college campus, and that's Deshonne Redeaux to me. This is my favorite player in this 2026 class. Not just my favorite running back, not just my favorite offensive player. I think this is the dude in this 2026 class that we're going to look back on and be like, this guy was a difference maker in high school, and he stepped into USC, and he's making a difference now. So why do I say that? The athletic talent that Deshonne Redeaux has, look at this change of direction ability downfield. The full athletic profile that Deshonne Redeaux has is very exciting. We have a 10.5 100-meter time as a sophomore in high school, which is blazing fast. He's put on a lot of weight since then, but look at how strong of a football player he is. The way that he just runs through arm tackles at 195 pounds. He has a very solid frame, but he's very strong as well. The contact balance that we see on the football field shows up. And I was talking about the athletic profile. That shows up on the football field as well. The way that he can just burst into the open field, that change of direction ability to string cuts together in the open field. This dude is a menace in between the tackles, and then if you give him a crease, he has that 100-meter time, that long speed to really make you pay. So I think every time Deshonne Redeaux touches the ball in high school, he's a threat, and I think we're going to see that at the college level as well, because that 100-meter time, that long speed, that explosiveness is going to translate to the next level, and then we see how strong of a football player he is. He's just going to keep getting bigger. I think when it's all said and done, we're going to talk about Deshonne Redeaux being a bit closer to 210, 215 pounds, and then he has that athletic profile to, make those cuts in the open field, to hit those creases when they appear, to make people miss, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, everything that you see from a football standpoint, you just see how easy the change of direction ability is. I think he just checks the boxes and what you look for. And, when are we going to see this dude at USC? You look at the running back room right now. Dude, I think if Deshonne Redeaux was on USC in 2025, he would be having a good season because of the injuries that have happened. Wayman Jordan, he could be back. I think this is a guy that's going to be in the NFL next year, Wayman Jordan. But Eli Sanders will be gone. King Miller's having a really good season, but I think Redeaux's going to be a big guy for USC in the running back room in 2026. So, I'm trying to call my shot here. I'm hoping that people are coming back to this film when he's going crazy at USC in 2026 and can say, oh my gosh, King Cold was right. But, to be honest, this is a pretty easy guy to watch the film, and you could tell that it's going to translate pretty early in his college football career. So, like I said, you're losing Eli Sanders. Wayman Jordan, even if he is back in 2026, he's going to be a senior. So, this is the guy long term. Brian Jackson's a good football player as well, but I'm trying to calm myself down, and I try to temper expectations in these videos, but the reason I'm so high on this kid is because I do think he's going to live up to those expectations. But you guys let me know what you see with him. I don't really think there's that much room for disagreement. Now it's just kind of on USC and how they develop him into a running back. Of course, the game moves a lot faster at the next level. You see Wayman Jordan, how good he is at kind of letting the game come to him. That patience that he runs with is just great. That's the kind of stuff that we're going to see Deshonne Redeaux get better at. Just because of, you can't get better at it in high school because the game moves slower in high school, right? It's just kind of how does he respond to the game moving faster at the next level. But, at least what he has physically, what he has athletically, I think he has everything that you look for. That's really all I have to say. It's a lot easier to make the videos when you see a kid that does 2 or 3 things good and then, has to improve on stuff, because you can talk about the stuff he's going to improve on. But, me being like realistic, I just think he has everything. The frame looks great. You take a look at him in the backfield right now, just how strong of a football player he is, and then you see it on the actual film, the way that he finishes runs, the way that he runs through arm tackles, and then, of course, when he's given a crease, this game was crazy. I actually watched this before the highlight tape, but he just finishes every run like that. Not just the highlight tape runs, not just the 90-yard touchdowns, but the way he can just kind of move the pile with that lower body strength. It's really exciting. But that was Deshonne Redeaux. You guys let me know what you think about him. Thanks for watching.